another episode of Tea with Taylor. How y'all doing out there? Kelly, you are relentless. I live. Hi, love. How are you? Happy Friday, everyone. We're here this week, the week before Valentine's Day, mind you, to talk about love and relationships. I have one of my really good friends with me. We're going to get into a fun game later. One of the ones that I, kind of made up or whatever. But one of my really good friends is here with me to talk about love and relationships because I'm not the expert here. And I'm just going to bring her right in. Everyone welcome Christie walking. Kelly, of course, as soon as you come on. Oh my gosh. Hi, Auntie. Thank you for watching. Oh, she's the real one. My aunt, Chanel Austin, who's watching, who just commented, I love you too, is always watching. I live. Like, she's always supporting as much as she can.
We love that.
She's in the South. Let's go with that. Sorry, Auntie.
Somewhere not
Sorry, Auntie. Yeah, somewhere not here. But she's always supporting from a distance, and I love that. And I love you guys for watching and supporting. Why don't you introduce yourself? Even though you've been here before and everyone kind of knows who you are, but whatever, no big deal.
So I'm Christie. I live here-ish, kind of, Pawtucket, around. Other than that, I do drag, and most of you know me as the angry person in the corner, ego, because usually I'm mad. But that's it. And aside from that, I'm just super pumped to be one of.
Oh my God! Okay, wait, hold on. Orion Brown is watching too. Hi, baby.
No, hey,
he said when you get ignored. I can't. I didn't need to see it yet. Okay, gosh, I'm watching now on Facebook. I'm watching for the comments, everyone.
Don't be sensitive tonight.
God, I know. But my aunt is in Virginia.
Virginia. Yeah. That is South. You weren't wrong.
I was not wrong, but whatevs. Here we are. So we got a few hot topics to talk about.
I love hot topics. By the way, I'm really bad at hot topics because I don't pay any attention to the world.
I honestly am the worst with celebrities and stuff. That's why every season I try to have a celebrity gossip episode, and I can have somebody come and tell you what's happening. Because I follow 3 celebrities.
I specifically rely on Jackie to keep me up to date.
Oh my God, talking about Jackie, she just commented. She said, "Hi, hey Jackie." I just remembered the names of these drinks. Screwdriver.
No, a screwdriver is vodka in orange juice.
Okay. So we got whiskey and OJ out, and I can't remember the name of this, but
Can somebody Google this and let us know in the comments?
Jujule it. But we got these shots here. I poured you a big one.
Yeah, that's fine.
Salute. Cheers to us.
Have fun at work, Kel.
No, Kel, she's on break. She was like, "Let me see what's going on here." You're welcome. You're welcome. That's a spicy
meatball.
I cannot. All right, so we got a lot to cover, y'all. I got mostly good ones this time.
Okay.
I mean, depending on the state of the
last time we talked, things got a little dark.
Yeah,
for a minute.
real dark.
I
like to have a good balance of the good and the bad, and depending on the state of the world, we gotta say what we gotta say.
I think we have a phone a friend in with the answer to the journey.
Oh, it's a whiskey screwdriver. Thank you, Jackie.
Someone had come up with something better.
She said I jugled it. Come on with the jugle. But the first thing, and that I want to talk about, that I know we can all relate to, that we all have a little something to talk about, the legalization of cannabis. And it's been a lot going on with that. But in Rhode Island recently. It was legalized December 1st, 2022.
Yes.
So it's been legalized, so that means you can smoke freely up to an extent. I think there's a certain amount, like a pound or something, that you can have on you.
Some ridiculous amount. So honestly, if you get in trouble for that, it's your own fault.
No, honestly, that's just you not being smart.
Yeah. And nobody needs to carry that much at one time.
Nobody needs that much at one time. If you're going outside of your home, please do not carry that much. Wait, why? This season finale for this season, y'all, here's a little sneak, is going to be a cannabis special. It may or may not be outdoors, depending on the weather, whatever. But yeah, we're gonna have a good time with that one.
Can't wait to watch that one.
But funny enough, so what's the first place you think of when you think of legal weed?
Jackie, don't be mad at me, but honestly, Vermont.
Okay, all right. I was not going.
But
okay.
For me,
okay.
Because honest, that was the first place I lived that had it legalized recreationally,
okay.
And it wasn't a thing.
That makes sense.
And you can literally walk into front people's yards now, and there's just plants growing in their front yard.
That's one of the only reasons I would say go to Vermont.
That's literally it. So for me,
what I was getting at is Amsterdam.
Oh yeah.
And literally, so Amsterdam, as you know, weed has been legal there for quite some time, forever. Actually,
I don't think it was ever.
Illegal. But now in Amsterdam, they're actually thinking about banning cannabis in the red light district. And they're probably going to reenact this at some point within the next few months. And I just was like, what in the upside down?
Like, why in the red light district?
Because specifically in the red light district, they don't want to deter people who live in that area. And they're making
the red light district.
But they're also taking a step further, and they're going to make the entertainers close their windows at a certain time as well. So you can go down, in the red light district, and things will essentially be closed at a certain time of night.
This might be a sign of one. The story about the four horsemen as they draw nigh. This may be one of them.
Holiday hours on your
on the
sex work,
on your sex work, and your cannabis.
Because they're not playing games. They're like, Emery said also Cali. Yeah, they're doing the same thing in Cali, Emery. What? That's terrible. Wait, what's going on here? What is happening?
Somebody juju it.
Oh no. And then the last in the weed news this week, there was a study. There was two studies. I forget, by two prestigious colleges. I forget who, but there was a study that said that people who smoke on the regular, daily weed smokers, jotting, they may need higher doses of anesthesia during procedures. You heard that?
Yeah, well, it's something that if I remember correctly, and I'm not a doctor, but I think it's something to do with it blocks the pain, certain receptors in your brain that do the thing with the stuff.
Do the things with the stuff.
You're welcome for all that. It was a shot of whiskey. Whiskey screwdriver.
Whiskey screwdriver. You're still mad about that.
But anyway, but yeah, I think that's what it is. It's something with metabolization and the receptors in your brain.
Yeah, it was something along the lines of the fact that if you smoke daily, kind of like how doctors ask if you drink or how often you drink, your pain receptors, they're a little bit a little bit less sensitive, so you need a higher dosage in order for that to kick in. And I was like, that kind of makes sense. And now they're thinking about adding that question, how often do you smoke, to the regular checkups, because just like alcohol, that they ask you every time, how often do you drink?
Well, yeah.
So they're thinking about adding that.
And honestly, for screening reasons, that kind of stinks if you don't want to be documented for certain things. Mm-hmm. But for the purpose of medication and appropriate dosages, it may come in handy, to be honest.
And that's what they said in the article that I read. They were like, make sure you're being honest, because a lot of people lie about how much they drink, and it affects certain things.
And honestly, if you're grown up, what are they gonna do? Are you gonna get punished? Are you gonna get grounded? Oh, sorry, I used cannabis.
Oh, shoot. Everybody said they have those questionnaires already. Shoot. Ooh. It's happening.
That's how often we go.
It's happening. I know. I try to go as little as possible. Never. When's my appointment? Next year? Can I push that?
I have insurance as a fail-safe just in case something horrible happens. That's
literally. Insurance, for the meaning of the word.
Another show, kids.
Oh, God. That's a whole nother one. We're not going to talk about that. Moving forward, this one kind of hurt my heart a little bit. It's super, super not important, but I needed to get this news out there. The M&M spokes candies. Did you hear about this? Yeah, the M&M spokes candies. So you know how they just went through a reinvention of what they look like, and gender inclusive and all that stuff, queer inclusive and stuff. So apparently, I don't know, someone didn't like it, or something happened within the company that we're not quite sure of yet. But the M&M spokes candies have been on an indefinite pause. Ugh. I don't know if you've noticed, they're not on TV anymore. They're not even posting them anymore.
TV.
It's
I have
background.
Netflix. It's really...
It's background a lot of times. Other times it's just what's new? But yeah, so they're... what's her name? Oh boy. Blanking out right now. Hold on. I have this in here somewhere. Maya Rudolph is taking over as the spokesperson for M&M's. We love Maya Rudolph.
We do.
So I'm kind of happy, but also right after they rebranded, what's the tea? What actually happened there? Why do we feel the need to cancel the M&M candies now?
Why? Straight people.
Why? Let's blame the streets. Let's blame the streets. Callisto's watching. Hey girl.
Hey girl. First off, it's usually the streets.
It's always the streets. Let's just blame the streets.
We're blaming them. Even if it's not their fault, blaming them.
We're blaming them anyway. Why not? But yeah, I thought it was really interesting, the timing of it all, because it's literally right after they rebranded.
Yeah. Well, the unfortunate thing with companies going trying to be more inclusive and more open is like that open backlash happens. There's so much, like, people have so much like confidence in their hatred now that they're like, no, we can't eat M&Ms if they're gay because like
what?
Let's be fair, kids, they're still chocolately delicious, and sometimes they have peanuts in the middle if you're lucky. Like,
and if you don't like nuts, then that sucks for you.
Just go buy like shitty chocolate and like do your thing.
And let's carry on. Like, what? They're candies. They're animated characters.
I'm so sorry you hate your life that
Are we
much.
serious right now? Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand. I was like, this is war. Because there's been because
so apparently all the gay people, you have to stop buying M&Ms immediately.
Immediately.
Sorry guys,
oh my god!
For the M&Ms.
And pretzel M&Ms, Emery said.
All of them. They're all done. You're all done with all of them.
They're all done. You know what? If Sazon can make a comeback, so can M&Ms. Because after
did Sazon make a comeback?
I mean, I see people buying it again. So
okay.
I mean, I guess y'all still banning.
You can make that spice at home yourself.
You can. Y'all still buying Goya after Trump supported it?
It's mostly paprika. Just let you know, which is
it's mostly paprika. I'm dead. How did you know that? What?
I was a chef for 5 years.
This is true. I remember this. Okay, this is true. Anywho's.
We digress.
Okay, next. This one actually kind of like, I was like, what's going on with this too? Like, literally, what in the upside down? So, McDonald's, I don't know if you heard about this one. And this is not even about the food. This is not even about the food. That's number 47 on the gay agenda. Jackie said, "Take back the M&Ms." Yes, Jackie.
Just in case I wanted you to know why that person's my best friend.
The gay agenda. I forgot. I'm sorry. Silly me for forgetting the gay agenda.
It's getting a little thick.
It's getting crazy. It's getting like me.
According to the streets, we have a whole list of things we're apparently have to do
that we had no idea of. Like, wow, that's power right there.
No, we're good.
But McDonald's, y'all, and this is not about the food. The food, it's awful if you ask me. Whatever, no big deal.
Everyone needs a drunk McDonald's night, but don't make it part of your like personality.
Listen, I like a drunk Wendy's night anytime. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
Do not get me wrong.
Well, after this, it might be Wendy's more anyway. What's happening with McDonald's?
I can't even. Kelly says, "Note to us: catch up on current events." Listen, I only have the privilege. I'm going to say, to catch up on these things because I have this show. So,
Kelly,
you're
I
welcome.
need you to jujule it.
Jujule it, please. But McDonald's has presented its first fully automated restaurant.
Did
you hear about this?
The good thing is the food will probably be cooked better. And your order might not be wrong.
No. And so your order will definitely not be wrong from the system that they set up. And apparently it'll be the opening to actual fast food, and that's in quotes, like that's what they said. This will be a gateway to actual fast food.
But also, just side note, stop eating McDonald's, especially the beef. It's literally, honestly, I know it's a joking, but like jujule it.
No, but like
seriously,
they had
the ammonia thing with the ammonia wash.
No, but they had a sidebar. Okay,
anyway, sorry.
We need to make sidebar. No. So there was this exhibit at FIT, at Fashion Institute of Technology in New York, and they put a Happy Meal or whatever it was, a burger Happy Meal.
Is that the one they left out for like 7 months?
And they left it out for 8 months, and it didn't decay, it didn't change,
also,
nothing.
Bugs don't want to eat it.
Bugs didn't even eat it. Like
things that eat poo don't want to eat it.
Yeah.
I just want to.
It's ridiculous. And we said not the AI. They're taking over.
Don't get me wrong. I'm still going to eat chicken nuggets, but like just not their beef, kids.
Yo, just jujule it, please. But they presented their first automated restaurant in Texas, of all places, where there's literally no workers. No, so it's conveyor belt style. Your order comes through on a computer. It's dropped off on a conveyor belt, and the things are already pre-made, so to speak, for the most part. Warmed up and pushed out. And apparently this first one in Texas is doing pretty well. And the idea was birthed from when COVID had indoor restrictions with the restaurants. And a lot of fast food restaurants and restaurants in general kind of maintained that for a long time. Even some still.
People were really, really rough to deal with.
They still have their doors locked.
I was a chef through that.
Ooh, yikes.
The human race literally shows some real interesting colors.
The human race, that's a lot. Oh, Armand, hey, thanks for the love. The human race.
Honestly, again, I do get it in a way because, like, to be fair, like, people are so horribly abusive to fast food workers. And then, I mean, if honestly they can fix the problem by like, cool, nobody wants to work here anyway. Cause let's be real about McDonald's as a corporation. But like, okay, so if nobody wants to work at that particular location, they fix the problem. They have a machine that makes the burgers.
Exactly.
And honestly, if you want to yell at someone, go ahead and yell at
what?
Wally.
And I guarantee you the ice cream machine will still be out of order.
Oh, no. They're not even going to put an ice cream machine in just because who's going to tell you it's broken? The AI?
Right.
I'm sorry.
And that's another thing Kelly just brought up. So she said, sounds like a great way to not have to pay employees because it's all AI. And that's another part of it. That's the part that we kind of have to like focus a little bit more on. I think the convenience of it is amazing. Of course, the fast food would actually be fast. But is it like taking it a step too far? Are we like eliminating jobs at that point?
But I feel like also, I feel like the problem that's going to happen is the same problem that happens with a lot of technology, excuse me, that tries to go like somewhere before it should, is people get really behind it and then it blows up in their face and they go, oops.
Whoops.
Like I'm not gonna say anything about any particular like wars, but like most people but like in general, any type of part of society that tries to go too far, too fast
quickly,
with certain technologies, it blows up in their face and they end up not being able to succeed.
Are you predicting that's what's gonna happen with McDonald's?
I feel like it's probably gonna fail. What's gonna happen? Think about it. All these machines are hydraulic, right? They have
probably,
and now they still have jobs involved because regardless,
they still have maintenance men.
They have maintenance men and like hydraulics and all this. But like, what happens? Like, what happens when that machine breaks? That's not something you can fix. Like calling in a backup employee. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna have to shut that down. So it's gonna end up. I feel like it'll probably become more inconvenient at some point than it is convenient, and it will not end up being a widespread thing.
It won't be sustainable.
Yeah, they haven't perfected that sort of like streamline yet. Like we don't have the. I mean, we're human beings, and we don't necessarily have that figured out yet exactly how to make them. I mean,
on some like Black Mirror like ish, you would have to have like two people there that are just there doing
just
nothing.
To make, and then they're making
and they're like making sure everything's going, literally like oiling machines. Like I mean, I don't know the extent of this
also,
plan.
It's in Texas,
but it's starting in Texas, so that's not a good sign.
100% says that in the next 6 to 8 months, someone is going to rob it at gunpoint. They're gonna literally blow it up.
You know what? Because where do you put your money if you're paying with cash? It's got to be into some machine,
or it's got to be all automated, where it's going to be on debit. But either way, someone's going to break in. Like, think about how many people were breaking into like car lots.
My sister's watching. But no, seriously, car lots.
Like stealing like parts off of cars.
Kelly said until the machines fix themselves. Now you're getting too dark, Kelly. Cut it out. Goodness gracious.
She's a little bit of a
I'm like, oh no, don't make me think about that. They start fixing themselves.
Like again, like think about all the things that happen where people steal like automobile parts and like catalytic converters.
That's the new way.
It's in the middle. If it's in Texas where people aren't working, most likely it's not necessarily the richest area. So you're gonna unfortunately also run into that like poverty by community thing where like someone's going to see an opportunity that they can take advantage of, and it's like... I
mean, inevitably it always
I just
happens.
feel like there's way more negatives.
I'm like, you know what? We're going to find out. I was just like, not the automated, but not the fully automated.
So in order to purchase and run a McDonald's franchise, you have to have over like $1.1 million in like liquid assets. I'm not even kidding. It's so ridiculous. Yeah.
What the heck?
So to own one, right? To be the guy that owns the McDonald's franchise.
I had no idea. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a ridiculous.
Because they are individually owned franchises.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I wonder too if maybe something to do with like this downshift in people investing in businesses too. Like I mean, how many people are taking $1 million and investing into McDonald's when a pandemic just happened that shut the world down for 6 months?
And McDonald's has been known for having being problematic.
Interesting.
So
interesting business practices.
Interesting business practices and
questionable.
Choices. Yes, questionable choices.
So I wonder if that might be part of the drive too, of them trying to figure out this technology, but like blame it on COVID.
That's what they did.
We're still blaming everything.
They're like, we're gonna blame it on COVID, but like,
maybe I wonder if that feeds into it. Market research.
Someone Google it for us. But moving forward, just a little bit.
We're talking about it, not actually know.
I know. I'm like, I kind of, I know the gist of it. I'm just gonna,
I know nothing about it. I'm just guessing.
I'm gonna give you guys the ingredients. You put it together and make the cake.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm guessing.
All right, we got one last one. It's kind of like a double hitter. So this one, we're gonna talk about flight attendants real quick. Let me get a little sip.
I'm like. I don't know. I love when the direction is unknown. That opening statement, you're like, wait, where are we going from there?
No, this one's actually a good one. I just wanted you guys to think it was tea. This one's a really good one, though. The uniforms within flight attendants are actually doing a huge change.
Is this the gender neutrality
yes,
thing?
they're doing gender neutral uniforms for all flight attendants. That's something that has been started to be initiated in 2022 with Alaska Airlines and Virgin Atlantic and British Airways. More so allowing workers to wear makeup and jewelry again, because that was a thing before that they
and
couldn't.
also women to wear pants,
right,
and men to wear.
So what it is they're allowing their workers to choose. Where are we? Hold on, I lost my.
I don't know.
They're allowing you workers to choose which uniform kit best fits them. So if you want to choose a female presenting uniform kit, as they call it, or male presenting, that's your choice. And I think that's a huge step forward with that career, because for one, I feel like they do a lot, and they should probably be able to wear what they want. That's the bare minimum.
And they deal with some of the worst
people. Like, can we talk
Have
about?
Have you seen those Karen
the
videos?
the fights in the plane, over dumb.
Those flight attendants are no joke. They're like, get out of my face.
No,
they're done. They've had it. They're over it. So if you feel like picking a fight, I don't think a flight attendant's
not the
one.
flight attendants. Leave the flight attendants alone.
And the pilots, leave them alone too, because honestly, they're just gonna call the marshal anyway.
Oh my God,
I
know. I didn't realize that was a thing until I started traveling a little bit.
There's been realistically too, flight attendants used to be called stewardesses, but that was a super antiquated term, and obviously very rooted in some probably misogyny.
Very much so.
So they made that progress to flight attendant, and then started allowing different, obviously having both female and male identified people. I was being flight attendant.
Yeah, and I'm if you hire someone who you know is a non-gender conforming person, then you kind of in this age you kind of have to accommodate that.
I mean, honestly, I don't know about anyone else, but all you're really worried about the flight attendant is that they bring you a drink and that's it.
As long as you wear your job, as long as you do your job, I don't care what you wear.
Yeah, wash your hands and do your job.
That's it.
Cool,
that's any business. Do your job.
I'm honestly going to compliment Homeboy wearing a skirt before I'm going to compliment a woman wearing a skirt, because it took way more confidence for him to walk down the aisle in that plane in that.
No, 100%. And that too, the confidence, of someone to come into work, what? That's everything. That's everything.
And then the comfort for the employees as well, though. Just having that comfort for them, that they know they can go to work and just present who they are.
And you're gonna be better at your job if you're comfortable. Yeah. It's just facts. If you're comfortable at your job, you're going to do it better. You'll perform better because you're comfortable.
Yeah. Having people work harder.
Yeah. It's always been a super sexy position. There used to be specific physical attributes. Height, weight, and makeup. That's very true.
Well, they also had to do their hair in a specific way.
Very specific for a long time.
The women had to it was a very everything was very controlled.
Bun into schmoop,
And the earrings, they couldn't wear dangly earrings.
They couldn't wear any jewelry for a while. Yeah,
and there was. So honestly, at the end of the day, it's a job. Why? It's a job. I get having a dress code.
Calypso Brown said the Karens are screaming. Boots. They are.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot more angry people getting kicked off planes.
Angry people.
Just because they can't handle someone wearing something they don't understand.
Oof. Yeah, and then to play off of that a little bit, there's an offer right now on the table, and y'all better not be good to the flight attendants, but Hong Kong is offering 500,000 free plane tickets. 500,000 free plane tickets to tourists to lure back tourism, because their tourism took a huge dip during COVID.
They went into a deep. People were jumping out of buildings to escape quarantine. They were real serious about
quarantine. Y'all about to touch on the little black dress story, Calypso said. You know what? We're not going to go there right now. That's a whole nother thing.
That's a whole different episode.
But if y'all trying to go to Hong Kong, just be nice to your flight attendants. That's all I'm saying.
Because I might get a free ticket.
I'm going to say I might want to get one of those 500,000 free tickets.
Yeah, be nice. Don't make them shut the borders down again.
For real! No, that part. Please. Because we barely have an economy as it is. I don't got time for that. We don't need that.
And all the other countries did get a really nice taste of not having us there for a while. So they know.
When Europe shut down, I was like, oh, it's real. Yeah. Europe was like, we don't want it.
Yeah.
Stay away.
Yeah, please no. So be nice. Just be kind.
Now they're like, maybe you can come back just a little bit.
But you gotta act right.
Right. You gotta maybe just like get tested.
Yeah, please
for everything.
Also, keep washing your hands.
The way I see at the gym, terrible.
I can't.
Anyway, just terrible. Your Honor.
Worst.
Your Honor. Anyways. So it's coming to that time for us to play our little game.
Nobody warned me about it.
Oh yeah. So the game that we're playing today, y'all, you ready? Are y'all ready? It's called Catch These Phrases. And you have to put up the hands every time. Catch these phrases. Yeah. Like, catch me outside, get it. Anyway. So it's called Catch These Phrases. I played this game season 5-ish. I kind of just created it out of nowhere. I don't know.
Okay.
Because I like Password a lot, and it's similar to that. And so what the idea of the game is, are y'all ready? Y'all can play in the comments too. Y'all
please play in the comments.
Please,
I'm not.
let me know. Let me know. So Christy can't cheat. I'll look at the comments first.
Yeah, I can't see the comments.
That's great. You have on glasses. What the hell?
These are mostly. I'm not looking really. I'm not looking over there.
Good,
either.
Great. We love that. Okay, so the way you play this is I'm gonna give a common catchphrase from either a movie, a book, or a speech. And you tell me who it was. Just that easy.
Oh.
Yeah, or what movie it came from.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just that easy.
Sure, whatever. Let's do it.
So, here we go.
You are welcome for whatever is about to happen.
Here we go. Alright, y'all ready? Alright, I'm ready. Okay, here we go. Love is an irresistible desire to be desired. Oh! And they're Valentine themed.
What?
I'll literally give you one clue if you can't get it. One to each one. Okay. Love is an irresistible desire to be desired.
Okay, narrow it down, movie, book, or song.
It's a book.
Yeah, no, I'm out. Kelly.
It's Robert Frost. I was like, everybody knows Robert Frost. Like, he's a poet.
Okay, listen, I grew up in New Hampshire, and Robert Frost was shoved down our throats for like the first 13 years of my life. I stopped reading it the minute I graduated.
The minute you didn't have to.
The minute they were like, you do not have to read this, I was like, sweet.
You know what? That was me with Holes. I was like, this is a childish book. What is this? And as soon as I didn't have to, I was like, oh, this is actually kind of good. I like it. And then they made a movie out of it, and I was like, okay, yeah. I'm into it. I'm not even gonna lie, I was into it. But when I had to read it in school, I was over it. Okay, this one, here we go. In all the world, there is no heart for me like yours. This one's in honor of Black History Month too.
Is it Beyonce? I'm just guessing. I don't know.
Do you guys know? In
Somebody help.
all the world, there is no heart for me like yours. I was trying to do that person's voice, but it's not happening. In all the world, there is no heart for me like yours.
Yo, I'm out. Guys, I just showed up and looked cute.
It's Maya Angelou. Oh my gosh. I'm like, what?
Listen, first and foremost, all I'm going to say is like, not a great reader.
Not every said Love and Basketball.
Oh, that's my favorite movie. No, fun fact, that is my favorite movie.
I do like Love and Basketball.
It was a great movie. I mean, it was a little bit dramatic.
It was very over dramatic, but it worked for the time period.
Whatever. Everybody loved Omar Epps.
No, seriously, they were so cute.
Anyway.
Oh, Kelly knew that one. She said Maya Angelou.
Well, you could have guessed it that fast.
Wow, Kelly.
Thanks,
nice. Babe. Okay, you know this one. Do I make you Randy?
Oh, did you really go with Austin Powers?
Yes. Oh, yes, Austin Powers. Yes, I was like, you better know this one.
That's not love. That's lust. In case anyone needed a definition.
We're gonna get into that too.
Yeah, I guarantee.
Talk about that. Okay. All right. My impersonations are awful.
No, they're great.
So you're welcome. This one I think you might know. Martini, shaken, not stirred.
James Bond?
Yes! Okay, woo! See, you know these.
I know those two. Yeah. That's like super pop culture reference. That's like nobody could.
I said
like
movie book.
I know, but you just started off a little bit more like intelligence based, which isn't my strong suit. I showed up to look pretty.
No, give yourself credit. Come on, cut it out.
I did. I showed up to look pretty.
You
tried.
are engaged to Kelly, who knew the answer to those questions.
Yeah,
so you're smart.
No, she's
You're smart for being with someone who's
True
smart.
story. I made really good choices.
Boots. There you go. That's it. We give ourselves credit.
Swiping right.
Hello. We give ourselves credit this year. Wow.
We're taking ownership.
Yes. Okay. All right. Wait, this one. All right. Oh, I feel like you know this one. This one's super pop culture too. Yeah. Why don't you come up and see me sometime?
Oh, that's so generic. Bro.
You know this. You know this. It's a movie. Yeah. Don't you come up sometime and see me?
I just want to keep making him say it.
No, I'm not saying it again. Do you guys
Okay,
know
somebody
what
help, because I'm out.
It's a movie. Yeah, don't you come up sometime and see me?
What is it? What Jackie said?
Yes, Jackie. Yes, Mae West. Yes, thank you. I'm like, come on, somebody knows this. Okay, this one's also a movie. You definitely know this one. If not, y'all help.
Somebody has way more faith in me than they should, but it's
Kelly knew that one too. Kelly said May.
She's smart, I'm telling you.
Oh my gosh.
One of us is the strength, like the muscle, and one is the brains, and we know what I do.
You know what? As long as you know your role.
100%.
That's it.
I move furniture.
Alright, I got 2 more. Alright. I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
Jessica Rabbit.
Yes, thank you. Who Framed Roger Rabbit, if you guys didn't catch that one.
Stunning cartoon.
Boots.
Stunning.
When I do full frame representing drag, I am going to be inspired by Jessica Rabbit.
Oh, can you please?
Don't even worry about it. It's fine. It's going to be great.
Let's talk about what we're here for, really.
When I finally decide to do full female presenting drag, it will be very bust-delicious. It will be very red. It will be very, very sex pot. And I know no one's surprised. I know.
No. I
All right, this one's kind of on the smart side. So this is the last one. It's a little smart. This one's on the smart one. All right. So get your thinking cap on. All right. Where there is love, there is life. Where there is love, there is life. And I'm not doing an impersonation on this one because I don't want it to be offensive.
Kelly, I need your help.
It is, I'll give you a hint. It's an activist who said this.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. These
Oh my goodness.
I'm also really bad at remembering names of people.
I was trying to give them some time to answer, but nobody knows that one. So it's Mahatma Gandhi, y'all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I was like, this one's a hit or miss. That's why I saved it for last. I don't know. Oh, Kelly knew. What do you know, Kelly? What the hell?
I feel like she should be on your...
Anne Marie, cut it out.
I feel like she should be on the guest list at some point, because she might be smarter than me, honestly.
Emery said Drake from State Farm.
Thanks, Emery. Honestly. I think everything is just Jake from State Farm.
And everything is Jake from State Farm. But Drake from State Farm, that's Bae. That's Bae. Sorry. Cheers to us for that, for successfully getting through.
It's more whiskey screwdrivers, because that's apparently a thing.
You just caught these phrases. You got beat up. Yeah,
I caught them to the face.
It's like you caught those phrases to the face.
It's fine. Again, showed up to look cute. You're welcome.
I texted too, but I'm lagging. Oh, Kelly.
Yeah, no, I got it.
No, not the cheating. Oh, and you got your watch on. You could have 100%.
Well, no, but it literally popped up after it popped up there. There was just a whole delay on technology.
See, cheating never pays.
There we go.
See what I mean? See, that's right. Now, Kelly, I'm gonna have you on, and we're gonna play this game again.
Yeah.
Catch these faces.
You have to go. Have a good rest of your night. I'll see you.
Yes.
See you later.
Aw, thanks for watching.
Thanks. Thanks for coming.
So we're gonna get into our topic of the conversation here. We're gonna talk about love and relationships, y'all. Whew, give me strength, Lord. But y'all, bear with us. And if we're saying something you don't like or something you don't agree with, feel free to voice that. You feel free to go in depth as much as you like and as little as you like, whatever you feel comfortable with. Because we're going to get into it, y'all.
Let's go. We're going. Let's go.
We're going to get into it. So I like to pose a question in the beginning for the viewers as well as you. And the question I came up with this week is, and you kind of touched on it a little bit, what do you think love is to you? It's a twofer. It's a twofer, y'all. You ready? What do you think love is, in your opinion? And what do you think the difference between love and lust is?
So I think I mean, on a very, very base level, lust is a very carnal reaction. Lust, I think, in order to have love, lust is involved. But you can have lust independently from love.
True.
Like, I know y'all go out to the club on a Friday night, you know, that's lust. Like, people act on lust is what they do.
Mm-hmm.
I think love is a thing that requires so much communication and boundaries and, like, understanding and space, and a lot of people miss out on taking the time to, like, develop those very clear kind of rooms, like, and again, you could literally, like, I'm not I just happen to be in a really functioning relationship at this time of my life.
Like,
but the thing about it is
goals.
in order to get there, you go through a lot of everything that's wrong for you will lead you to everything that was meant for you. And
I need that on a shirt.
Yeah.
Everything that's wrong for you will lead to everything that's right. Oh
because,
my
like,
God.
how do you know what you don't? How do you know what you want until you know what you don't want? How do you know what you will deal with if you don't know what you won't deal with? Right? I think that's what, like, to me, that's what love is, and it doesn't have to be a singular person, because like love is also an all-encompassing thing. Like, there's platonic love. Like, I love my friends to a point where it's weird, and they know that.
Listen, literally, that's the next question. That's the next question.
But that's the thing is, so, like, I think if you look at love, like, unfortunately, people try to separate that too much too, where it's like, well, so if I say I love you, it's weird. Why is it weird?
No.
Like,
tell your friends you love them,
and
like,
make it weird. Tell them a lot. Tell them often. You know, and I think that's really what it is even in your friendships, like, people apply a certain rule to their friendship love that they won't apply to their, like, intimacy or their partner love. Like, you expect your partner to go above, beyond, and break all these walls down for you, but you're not willing to tell them why you're having a bad day.
Right. And that requires a level of, like, being a vulnerability that a lot of people don't bring themselves to, even on their own. So when you, for me, are thinking about bringing that to a state where someone else is involved, you kind of have to know yourself, and that's what I always tell people. You have to know yourself and be happy with yourself before you bring that into someone else, because you're never going to be happy.
And honestly, popular contrary belief, you do not have to love yourself in order to love somebody else, because some of the most genuine people, the most loving, kind people I've known have been the most empty of love or empathy for themselves. You know, and I think that's a really big misconception is you don't necessarily have to love yourself to love somebody else, but you do have to like yourself a little bit. Yes. You have to know yourself.
Yes, and definitely know yourself. And that's it right there.
And be willing to grow. Like, the thing about a lot of people is, you know, you get into a relationship in the first 6 months, it's roses and rainbows, right? It's all great. Then month 8 hits and you're like, oh, there's that thing they do, right? They move in, and they move in a year later, and then you're like, oh.
That thing is still happening.
But you know what? But, like, I don't.
Just like we were talking about earlier, ignoring the red flags.
Exactly. And there's so much romanticism around, like, toxicity. Like, we all love the Joker Harley Quinn story. Just in case anyone missed it, that's a very negative, toxic, unhealthy situation.
Okay, so you know what? Okay, so I need to pause. I need to pause you because you're getting into all the things I was going to say next. All right. So we're talking about love first. Okay, so you know that's your definition of love, and I 100% agree. Like, love is all encompassing, but there are so many different types of relationships that you can garner in your life. These are a few that I wrote down. Calypso Greetings Brown says, depends on the kind of love we're talking about. Very true. But like we said, tell your friends you love them too, because they need to hear that. Like, it's not just like like, that's cute.
Maybe they don't know, and honestly, like, sometimes the best thing that you can do for someone is just to remind them, like, hey, I love you.
Right. Because, like, it just makes you...
You've had that day. Everyone's had that day where you wake up and you're like, dude, nobody cares.
No one cares. Yeah.
And, like, maybe that one nice, like, and, I mean, I'm not saying say it falsely either, but, like, my friends, I love my friends.
For me, it's whenever, I made a promise to myself, whenever I think of someone, I would contact them in some way, shape, or form.
There's a reason.
And just tell them, like, hey, just thinking of you, like, love you. Yeah. The end. That's it. And leave the door open. Because that's, for some reason, you're in my brain. Yeah. So I might as well
get put that thought into my head, so I'm just going to touch it. So I'm like, let me just get onto
it and get on with it. Because if I don't, a lot of times it comes back to me and then I'm, like, annoyed. So there's that.
Just get it out of the way.
But there are a few different types of relationships that I can categorize for us. And those types of relationships fall under platonic, which we just talked about, romantic, codependent, casual, open, so a non-monogamous type of relationship, and our favorite, toxic. And we all know the toxic relationships. That's why I was like, hold on, you're talking about all of them.
Yeah, all
like,
things.
For one, I think that we definitely talked about polyamory on Taylor too, so that's one of the ones that's like, people still are kind of like learning.
To be fair, I will say, like, I have several friends who are, I apologize ahead if I say any of this.
Of course.
But I do have friends who are identify as either polyamorous or ethically non-monogamous. And honestly, like, the conversations I've had with most of my friends who are in like multiple, like those multi-relationship platforms.
Yeah.
There's a much healthier communication system in place.
No, because you have to.
Because they've even said, like, I had a really close friend of mine that was like, it's not that you don't get jealous. It's not that you don't have these feelings, but instead of acting on them or reacting to them, you communicate about them so that you can address them.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what a lot of people, like, don't do.
They don't. They don't take
and
the
that's
time.
In everything, in friendships, in your casualships, in your relations, anything, your situationships. You don't communicate. You just get mad, and then you get mad on social media and start running your mouth about the person, and then the next day you show up with them at the club, being like, "Oh, this is boo thing."
That's such a big
yesterday
mistake.
it wasn't boo thing.
That's such a big mistake. I cringe every time I see someone bring the relationship.
Stay off of Twitter with it.
Stay
like, come
off
on.
of social media with your relationship issues. It's not gonna make it any
not
better
cute.
at all.
You
And,
look
like,
unstable. It's uncute.
I'm a huge believer in, like, keep your personal-ish personal. There's a reason that it's personal.
Called personal business for
a
reason.
reason. And, like, not shutting yourself off to the world. Like, if you want to share. But
like,
there's an extent for me that I believe that's on social media of all things.
Or like it's mostly when you talk smack. Like, that's fine if you're mad at somebody you care about, they hurt your feelings.
Just don't bring it to the
and
internet.
you can say things vaguely, but like people go on Facebook and they're like, I hate blank. And then what?
Yeah.
You look crazy.
Yeah.
They look normal. You look crazy. I'm just letting you know. You look crazy. Get it together.
Seriously. And that's not fostering a healthy relationship either. So that's another thing that it's like one of those things that's like detrimental to a healthy relationship. And that's not one of them. There's a few factors that I came across that like are across the board that affect a healthy relationship. And the term healthy obviously can be taken a bunch of different ways, but healthy as in like not codependent, like we just mentioned, and not toxic, where the one partner is taking care of the other constantly and there's an imbalance, but healthy, where it's benefiting both of you.
Functioning is a good way to look at it.
Yes, that's a better
Like,
thank
how
you.
many times a week does your partner make you cry because they have hurt your feelings? Take that into consideration.
Yeah.
Like, if it's more than 6, you should
Yeah.
probably reconsider.
Yeah, and Emery's saying people have bad intentions, especially when they are not vulnerable, or when they are vulnerable, and that's a big one too. Like we said, you have to be at a certain level of vulnerability when you're, looking to be in love or looking for a relationship to be healthy.
Yeah.
And that's something I had to learn a couple times because I grew very tough skin being a loner, so to speak. But we're not here to talk about.
And also, just to clarify, I think we've all been the unhealthy one. Mm-hmm. Like, we've and anybody who's like, I've never been. You have.
Then you still are.
But maybe you haven't realized that you have. And I'm not saying that. And that doesn't mean you're a bad, toxic, negative person.
No.
But we all go through I think you, as a human, you go through growth spurts and learning things about yourself. Where like, at some point, you know what? It was probably me.
Yeah.
It was probably me.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And there are times where, like, for me, for instance, like, where I didn't realize in the moment, but as soon as I reached another level of growth, personal growth, I realized, like, oh, snap, that could have been handled this way, or, oh, I did that, oh, why did I instigate this, why did I do, you know what I mean? And you go back you have to go back in your mind when you, like, have those moments of silence or alone time, and actually make personal amends with yourself. You have to forgive yourself for those things and actually take accountability, like you said.
And learn from it.
And
yeah,
learn.
like, not only own it, but, like, learn from it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no harm in saying, listen, I sort of suck. And I'm going to need to, like, polish that up a bit.
Yeah, I mean, you're an amazing person.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone have to tell you otherwise. But
it is
like
okay to tell yourself.
There are times you have to go back and just learn from those things. Yeah. And like again, like you said earlier, how will you know what you do want if you don't learn what you don't want? And that takes a huge role too in like finding love and finding functional relationship.
Functional happiness.
Yes.
Because nothing's perfect, and I think that's the other thing that people fall into is like, people look for like this pedestal kind of feeling because like people watch movies and you listen to love songs, right? Love songs are great, but like one of my favorite quotes I don't, and I wish I remember who it said, but it was something along the lines of like comedy comes from a place of darkness and like love songs come a place from sadness. Because people like when you talk about people talking about the things they want or like an ideal situation. Nothing's perfect. Like there's no perfect love, and like the way that like I love my partner isn't going to be the same way that like you love your partner.
And it's like literally learning your partner.
Love language.
Love language. When I learned how to identify others' love languages, the entire idea of dating changed drastically. Yeah. I was like, oh shit. Love languages, that's a big deal.
And when somebody takes the time to learn yours,
it feels amazing. It feels amazing.
Because you're like, wait, oh no, you did that thing.
You did that thing I like.
And the thing might be something really stupid. Your love language can be something simple, and that's just how you feel loved. Somebody who cares about you is going to take time to figure that out.
And so overall, I think I found this really interesting kind of way to break this down for you guys to remember. I wrote down a few things that I think are good ways of maintaining a healthy relationship, and the stages of a healthy relationship, and how to maintain that. There is the romance stage, which we talked about. You said that like the first 6 months.
Perfect.
There's the acclimation stage, which a lot of people skip over, which we were just talking about.
That's when they move in and you start realizing.
When you get what you put out.
Yeah.
Essentially,
you start to realize the energy balance between the two partners.
And that's also when you, like I said, when you get to learn your partner and learn what their love language is and who they are as a person outside of the relationship. So that's one that I thought a lot of people like a lot of times. That's where your relationship kind of like the house of cards starts to fall down. Yeah. You miss that acclimation stage. So it's romance, the acclimation stage. Then there's always going to be a challenge stage. Always. I think in all the things I read about love and relationships this past week, that's been a common denominator. There's always going to be a challenge. Yeah. And you have to make that decision within yourself, and your partner has to make that decision, or whoever is involved. Do I want to put forth the effort to fight, or to not fight because it shouldn't be a fight, but do I want to put in the effort to move past this with this person, or do I just want to call it quits? Because there's always going to be a challenge. There's always going to be a challenge in any kind of relationship that we mentioned. There's always going to be a challenge. So you have to make that decision in that point, in that stage of that relationship. Do I want to like take on this challenge? Is this something I really want? And that's really the time you sit down with your partner and say, hey, listen, this is what's happening, this is what's going on, let's figure out why.
I mean, I think that's, again, it's just communicating.
It's communicating.
Like, people are so scared to say how they feel or say what they want.
And to deal with the challenge.
Like, say what you want.
Yeah.
If your partner admits they can't give that to you, then you know right then. You know right then.
Yeah.
Like, if they're not willing to give you the things you're telling them you need, they're never going to be willing to give you
a lot of people, in my opinion, are afraid to confront or feel confronted.
They're also afraid to be alone.
And so then they don't. And that's even worse.
Well, and what you don't want to do is you really don't want to feel rejected, right? You don't.
That too.
But like, here's the thing:
rejection,
it's not rejection if you're saying something you need and someone cannot provide it to you. Mm-hmm. They're saving you a bunch of time. Yeah. Is what they're doing.
And for me, I'm even going to go as far as to say, be careful when you're going through these stages too. For me, in my personal journeys, I've learned that it helps so much to pray. And like find that person that knows what prayer means, because whether it's prayer, whether it's meditation, whether it's just taking that time to be conscious and aware of everything around you, whatever you call it, God, angels, spirit, whatever, I think it's important that that person that you are pursuing, or that person that's in a relationship with you, or that friend, that they understand you on that level as well.
And that doesn't mean you even have to, like, me and my partner do not, like, I'm not religious at all. Mm-hmm. My partner has their own practice in life, and but I don't have to understand it to give them the space to do it.
Right. That's what I mean. You have to
tell me, if she tells me, like, hey, I'm gonna meditate for an hour and a half, I'm like,
you're like, okay.
Like, I love you, because honestly, I don't feel like talking right now anyway. Please meditate away.
Yeah. Jaden, thanks for watching. Jaden Vieira.
Hey, baby.
Jaden said facts and afraid to be alone. That's a big one. It really is. But yeah, like I think that acclimation stage is really important because it is a two-parter. It's getting what you put out and also learning your partner. That's a really, really big one. Then there's the challenge. Then there's the exploration stage. And that's really important too. So once you know what you know, then the exploration stage kicks in where you can either sexually explore with your person, you can explore adventuring, you can explore different types of things with that person so that you begin to form that lifelong bond, that image of what your life would be with this person. Because essentially, isn't that what we're doing?
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully.
Also, pro tip, just try to cook a meal with your partner.
That's
at the same time.
At the same time.
If you want to know if you are compatible with a person, put two people in the kitchen.
Don't you dare put me in the kitchen. Don't you dare.
Fun fact, me and my fiance, we just take turns because you know what we've agreed to? We cannot.
We're not. I know, seriously, no.
I love her more than air itself, but get out of my way.
But get out of my way because I'm very particular and I do not like...
But that's a really good relationship test. If you're ever questioning it, just be like, babe, let's cook spaghetti together. That is going to either help you plan next Valentine's Day or plan on how to politely exit the situation.
Right. Or go to IKEA.
Okay, IKEA's not. I don't.
That's dangerous.
Because honestly, I can build and carry things, and I will tell you for free that IKEA is not for me.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I promise you will hate everyone.
I'm not that gay. Okay. If you need someone to carry a shelf for you, I'm your guy. If you want someone to build a shelf for you, you better phone a friend.
I'm not phone a friend. Cut it out.
Not this one either.
You needed to phone a friend for that game.
No,
we phoned.
I did. I phoned my friends. They're watching.
You did. You really did.
I just threw help me.
All right. So after the exploration stage, which can be as fun as you'd like it, or as in detail or depth as you like, as simple as making a meal together. After the exploration stage, I think that's when you start to gain stability. So you're in that stage of maintaining stability, and then stability maintained becomes commitment. And I think that's just a simple way of breaking it down that you can look at the stages of your relationships. There is romance, there's acclimation, there's challenge, there's exploration, stability, and commitment.
I think that's all very
And I'm like, I think that wraps up.
And I don't necessarily think it happens directly in that order, and sometimes things can be happening simultaneously.
Yes.
And that's the thing.
That's the thing.
And I think the thing, too, again, is like with people, because like these like quick relationships and things have been so glamorized, is that when things do get challenging, or when things don't go like...
When it's like glitter
it's not
and gold.
roses and rainbows. All of a sudden you're like, I don't like this person anymore.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you like them? Because they told you no, or because like they generally presented some sort of contradiction to your life.
Right.
Like, I don't like to share my space. Like, I was really comfortable and confident living by myself and being on my own. But, like, honestly, at the end of the day, when it came time to merge the space with my partner, there was nothing about it that made me uncomfortable. Like, by the time that choice was made, I was 100% sure in that decision.
Yeah, that part.
So,
you know. You know when you know.
Yeah, and
you know when you know.
And again, I think that it all comes down to that communication, because like if you want a casual relationship with the person you're having a casual relationship with wants something more serious, less serious, or somewhere in between, if you don't communicate that, then you guys are always going to be on a different level. Or
and at ends, it's not gonna...
You're never gonna get along. You're never gonna understand.
And I think that's one of those factors that affects healthy relationships, or as we were saying earlier, is communication. Communication, I think... As you know, people say, and I agree to an extent, but time, of course, because if you meet someone who's the right person at the wrong time, then they're not the right person.
No.
That's just how I feel. That I may be wrong in thinking that, but if I meet someone who I'm romantically want to be involved with and it's not the right time, then it's just not going to work. And for me, I know God pushes those people out of my life real quick. Like, nope, this isn't yours. And then if you try to do it, it just doesn't work out. And it's like,
I think one of my honestly favorite sayings, hands down, has always been, everybody in your life is either a lesson or a blessing.
Yeah. Come on, bring it to church.
They're either here for a short time or a long time. But think about every failed bad relationship you've had that taught you something. Like you learned something from everybody, and maybe they were only meant to be there for a short time.
Yeah.
Maybe you were meant to have that really negative experience with somebody, so that the next time you're like, wait, no, there's something I don't want to do again. I'm Gucci with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't know about y'all, but I have a list of names of people I will never date again. Honestly, these 5 girls have ruined the name forever. Like, time.
No, I have a literal list.
Jackie knows.
I have a list now of all the qualities that I do that I won't stand for, deal breaker qualities. And for me, it's like I had to also learn from within myself that calmness and respect goes a long way. That's another one of those factors that affects relationships, I think, and you don't realize it because you get so comfortable with that person after a time that it's easy to disrespect them, or it's easy to not be calm and collected. Like, you have your feelings involved, and that's a big thing. Like, for me, it's like I'm putting my heart out there, and so for me, learning that lesson was one of the ones I had to learn a couple times. Like, no matter how hurt you feel, and no matter how much you're putting yourself out there, you still have to garner a certain level of respect for that person and calmness.
I think for me, one of the biggest things I learned too is within communication. You can tell somebody, like, you can communicate someone when you're like feeling hurt, feeling this. But just because you're just communicating that you're hurt doesn't mean that you need to disregard how you're just giving them that information. Like, you can tell your like there's one way to tell the person
what,
you like.
It's how.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, like, and that's something that very recently I've even personally kind of struggled with, because like when you're stressed out, you're stressed out. And unfortunately, the people closest to you are always the people easiest to target with your frustrations, because they're the ones right there.
Yeah.
Like, it's not they're the person you're sitting next to. So that's a thing that I would also like say is a big deal too, is learning how to not only like communicate your emotions, but make sure that you're communicating it in a way so that your partner can receive it in a positive way. Because if you make them feel attacked or make them feel less than, they're not going to be receptive to that. It's just like when someone makes you feel attacked, you're not going to be receptive.
You're not, and I've been there. Like, nah. And I think also since you brought that up, also I think forgiveness is a part of that too. Because, like, there's not always going to be those times where that person is going to say the thing you want it to be the way you want it to be said, or that person's not going to do the thing you want it to be the way you want it to be done. And I think a lot of times we hold on to those things without realizing it, and it kind of throws a wrench in the relationship, and you don't realize what it is. It's like, what is this one little thing that I can't let go of?
And also, like, just because you're mad doesn't mean you deserve an apology.
Yeah. Oh, God.
You got mad. Like, I'm going to say that one more time louder for the kids in the back. Just because you got mad does not mean you deserve an apology.
Absolutely. There are certain scenarios where I will disregard that, of course, but most of the time.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it just, you don't inherently deserve an apology just because you felt some type of way. That's a communication that that would be a moment where you should healthily exchange that with the person you are intimately involved with, of like, here's how I feel, here's why I feel that way. Because you don't want to, again, you don't want to throw it at them in a way that's like, why did you say that? You don't want to do that.
Yeah, and I found when you don't have that forgiveness for that person, it ends up coming out in a toxic way. And you're like,
because you want them to be nice with you. You want people to be gentle with you when you're having a bad day. Well, maybe your partner's having a bad day and they haven't got a chance to tell you.
Yeah, and
be gentle.
Yes, like I said, calmness. I think calmness goes a long way. Like, for me, that's one of the ways that I've learned to deal with like relationship issues, or even with friends. It's just like, I'm going to come to you with a calm, cool, collective facade. On the inside, I'm blood boiling, but I know what I'm saying is sound mind. And I know that I'm going to come to you calm and respected.
And also, if you need to take that second, too. Some people don't. Some people will just react emotionally to something. Sometimes you just need to be like, nope. And take a minute. Walk away. Do that. If walking away for 30 seconds might save somebody you love, and I mean that platonically or intimately.
Communicate that that you need some time, you need to walk away. But if that's what you need, that's what you need.
You're human.
And then we go back to that whole respect thing again.
Yeah, like, we're all people. At the basis, I think, in order to have a functioning, healthy relationship, and again, this doesn't matter what kind of relationship it is. I don't care if it's casual, intimate, personal, private, public. I don't care what you're doing. Respect.
So Haley Lewis said the same thing.
I love her.
Haley said the same thing. Thank you for watching, Haley. She said literally the same thing. The ability to say you're not ready to communicate is important too. Taking a breather and coming back is incredibly difficult, but so important. And you hit the nail on the head.
And it also prevents you from reacting emotionally, because people confuse that. You're not necessarily just passionate about something. You're being an whole. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah. Like, and if you react emotionally to every single thing that makes you mad, you're just going to be mad all the time. So maybe take a minute.
True. And there's a higher rate of you saying something that is unforgivable in a sense, because you're saying it from a hurt place. And when you say things from a hurt place, you are not saying it to solve anything. You're not saying it. It's
There's
not constructive.
There's nothing that's good.
It's destructive in all the sense of the way. So again, taking that breather, like they just said, is a really, really good practice to have, and to learn calmness. I think really important. Learning calmness.
Yeah, find a way to rein yourself in. Not because everyone gets mad. I mean,
everyone gets mad.
You get mad. It's an emotional response to it.
It's literally fine. Like we all want to talk about the happy love and all that, but that's
don't
part
weaponize your anger against the people you love the most. Like that's never fair. Like,
well, I like that. Don't weaponize. Oh, I love that.
It's not fair. It's not fair to them. All they wanted to do was love you, and maybe they didn't know how to do it right that day.
Yeah.
So like,
and sometimes
maybe you just need to help them know how to do it right that day.
And sometimes again, you run into those codependent kind of relationships that we talked about.
Please stop with those.
And those are the ones that you need to learn to identify within yourself, so you do not end up in that boat again.
And as soon as you identify you're in one, get out.
Yes. Oh, and Graham makes a really good point, and I'm going to end the night here, I promise. I'm going to give you back your Friday, I swear. But Graham is also... Thanks for watching, Graham.
It's our Friday.
It's ours.
We've taken over. This is now your entire Friday
night. The takeover, yes.
I know no one's mad about it.
Many people were like, you're doing an hour show? Seriously? No one's going to watch? And I was like, watch.
Everyone's going to watch.
I'm like, you're going to
Like, have you met either one of us?
Like, hold on. Graham said the important thing here is to make sure you do come back after you exercise walking away. Because if you just sweep it under the rug, don't just sweep it under the rug because you've calmed down. Not naming any names, but some people, struggle with that. Okay, Graham, thank you for that confession. I appreciate that. It happens. It happens a lot with family issues. I think that
don't ever sweep it under the rug.
They're like, oh, it's fine. No, I'm not mad, and it comes back to bite you in the ass essentially.
Like the only thing I like, if I had to say anything about relationships in general. Something my mom always used to say to me, and I'm sure it comes from somewhere else, but she said, find somebody who knows how you take your coffee, they know how you take your whiskey, and they know when to bring which one.
Yes!
That was the rule.
Come on with these golden quotes today.
It's literally that easy, though. Just find somebody who wants to love you when you don't love yourself, and they want to talk about it when you might not want to talk about it, and they want to wake up next to you tomorrow. And
do it all
that's
over
all
again.
I got.
No, seriously.
And love yourself at the end of the day, because you're beautiful, you're smart, wash your hands, stay safe, do the thing.
Please wash your hands. I'm over it. But anywho, I think we're at that hour mark now, guys. So we're gonna leave you here with that. I hope that you learned a little something today. A quick recap: the stages of a relationship, of a romantic relationship. 1, romance. 2, acclimation. 3, challenge. 4, exploration. 5, stability, and that leads to commitment. Make sure you're communicating, because I know that's a big one we talked about today.
You get fancy jewelry with commitment sometimes, too.
I do. I know. Sometimes people want to put a ring on it. Who's this? Someone wants to join the video. We are ending the night.
We are finished.
Someone wanting to join now? Come on. Right? I love you to death, but no.
Too late.
Too late. Next time.
You can DM us later.
Next time. Oh, but feel free to watch. I'm going to make sure to post this to YouTube, to my website, tinyurl.com/Taylor Neptune. All of the platforms will be posted after this. So catch up with us, catch up all the other past episodes as well. But I want to give you the time and space to kind of communicate anything you want to communicate to the viewers.
That's all.
Promote anything you have coming up.
Honestly, just I'm nothing right direct, but keep an eye out. I've got a couple of fun little things that I'm working some details out on. But definitely check out Lesbian Nightlife. There's a bunch of really cool camping festivals this summer. Just throwing that out. There may or may not.
Lesbian camping. Goodness gracious.
I know. But no, for real. Just at the end of the day, just be nice. Don't even be nice. Be kind to each other. And be good to your people and tell your friends you love them.
Yes.
Make it weird.
I love that. No, make it so
weird.
I love that. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Make sure you follow on all social media platforms. Taylor Neptune. I want to make sure, like I always do, to tell you, be good to yourselves, love yourselves, look within before looking outward for all life's problems. And thank you so much. Have a happy, blessed Friday, and I hope to see you next week. Until then, y'all. Until then, we got some more. We got some more of this drink to finish.
Yes.
We got some.